Have you ever fought a bully who thought they owned you? That's where my story begins. In a quiet mountain town where my cozy cabin sat nestled among pines. I'd poured my savings into that placia sanctuary from city chaos. But the Pinewood HOA had other plans. They saw my cabin as a cash cow, and their president, Karen, was the ringleader. It started with petty complaints. My mailbox was too rustic. My wildflower garden? Unkempt. Karen, with her clipboard and smug grin, would stride up my gravel path, citing violations I'd never heard of. Fines piled up $50 here, $100 there. I paid at first, thinking compliance would keep the peace. But Karen's demands grew absurd. She claimed my cabin's wood exterior violated some obscure bylaw and demanded I repaint it or face a lien. I refused. That's when she escalated. One crisp fall morning, I found a notice taped to my door. The HOA was auctioning my cabin to cover unpaid fines. My stomach dropped. I'd paid every fine, even the ridiculous ones. I stormed to the HOA office, receipts in hand, only to find Karen smirking behind her desk. "You're late on payments," she lied, waving a forged ledger. "Your cabin's ours now." I demanded proof, but she stonewalled me, saying the board had voted unanimously. I left, fuming, my hands shaking. The tension mounted as I dug deeper. Neighbors whispered about Karen's tactics, how she'd bullied an elderly couple into selling their home cheap after similar violations. I wasn't alone, but I felt it. Then came the twist. My neighbor, Tom, a quiet retiree, slipped me a USB drive. "I hacked their emails," he confessed, eyes gleaming. "Karen's been skimming HOA funds and targeting properties to flip for profit." The emails were damning Karen had colluded with a shady developer to seize my cabin for a luxury condo project. My blood boiled. This wasn't just harassment. It was a scam. The auction was a week away. I hired a lawyer, Sarah, who specialized in HOA disputes. She was a pit bull in heels, warning me the fight would be ugly. Karen's influence ran deep. Half the board was in her pocket. We filed for an injunction to stop the auction, but Karen retaliated. She spread rumors I was a deadbeat squatter, turning neighbors against me. My mailbox was vandalized, tires slashed. One night, I caught her lackey snooping around my property, taking photos. I was livid but held my ground. Sarah uncovered more. Karen had fabricated my fines, forging signatures to justify the auction. The evidence was a goldmine. The courtroom showdown was electric. Karen sat across from me, her fake tears fooling no one. Sarah tore into her, presenting the forged ledger, Tom's emails, and even a whistleblower, a former board member who'd quit over Karen's corruption. The judge's face hardened as Sarah laid out the harassment. The fines, the threats, the auction. Karen stammered, claiming it was all a misunderstanding. But the emails exposed her greed. The room buzzed when the whistleblower testified that Karen had pocketed $50,000 in HOA funds. Gasps echoed. Her facade cracked. The judge ruled in my favor. The auction was canceled, and I sued the HOA for harassment and defamation. Sarah pushed for punitive damages, arguing Karen's actions were malicious. The court agreed, hitting the HOA with a $200,000 judgment, every cent of their reserve fund. Karen was personally liable for $50,000 and forced to resign. The developer deal collapsed, and her reputation tanked. Neighbors who'd shunned me apologized, some sharing their own Karen horror stories. My cabin was safe and I felt vindicated. But the win was bittersweet. The fight drained moments of stress, sleepless nights, and legal bills. Yet, standing on my porch, watching the sun set over the pines, I knew I'd done right. Justice wasn't just about money. It was about standing up to bullies like Karen. What do you think? Did she get what she deserved? Or should I have pushed for more? Share your thoughts below.